Well, this is going to be an interesting one here. Can they bounce back or will they get completely stomped here? We do see Washi Paul playing the Fanny this time, but we do see Iran on the Hayabusa. That's going to be a big limelight right now for us here in this match in B-Stream.
Hayabusa going to be a very effective counter towards Fanny. We already mentioned that ultimate being able to just chase her down and do a lot of damage. Also synergizes well with Sky Piercer. So again, this early game going to be a very important timing for both RSG and Bigetron. Notably more for the latter though, because Bigetron have invested a lot of their resources into taking away these high utility heroes, which means that their late game damage is going to fall a little bit behind.
Yeah, and in this case, I feel like rsgph now, they've got the common emblem up on Nibor. I think Barats is one of those heroes that really need to take advantage of those regen early game, right? So on the XP lane, he's going to be doing pretty okay against Marzi. So I think that's the adaptation that he is going to be doing to deal with a Ruby XP, which in this case, the previous game, Ruby was playing roam throughout the entire game. And this time, on the XP, they had the advantage of flexibility, which is helping them right now. But speaking of which here, Washi Ball looking for a gank light, almost losing his life here. So that is going to be very unfortunate for BTR.
That's already going to be a nice little win though. Oh, hold on.
Oh, Naxu also going to be able to survive as well. RSG right now going to be having a little bit of an angsty moment for themselves. Meanwhile, we do see the Barats not having the 4 first down bottom here, taking his health down low pretty towards half HP. So he needs to be a little bit more careful, especially when his 4 is not even up here. Marzi got his IMO Fender. They both get it as well. Now they are going to try and set it up for this turtle fight. Aqua showing themselves. Rusi, they do see this as well, but will they commit? It seems like they are buying time for their junglers here. They try to go for a little bit of catch here, but here it comes. The Daytona's Welcome Flicker catcher. They catch onto Marzi. Stolen count on the saves the day. Drags onto the fight. Fanny tries to do a little bit more here. Can they steal the turtle here? Who does it again? And it is going to be Nibor that takes it. rsgph, they get a kill on top of it all. Naxu needs to run for his life. He's going to be fine here, but BTR will be the one to lose this first engagement.
Mind you, RSG Philippines is a team that uses NetherRealm very well. Like, Paramis is a comfort pick for them, it has been for a while, and it really just enables them to play a lot more aggressively than usual, which is quite a lot when you consider how aggressively they already do play. Yes, it can be stolen away by the Valentina, but you can tell that RSG Philippines are a lot more in tune with the timing of it and understanding the limits that it extends.
Yep, Naxu finds one, finally drops the kick here. Does he set it up for Light? But it seems like Light, he is going to buy a little bit more time, but he will still fall. So that's going to be a nice pickup here coming from Bigetron Beta. 1-1.
Nice pickoff right there. Bigetron are again in a similar situation to game 1 where they need to be the ones dictating tempo, especially early on. When you have so many utility heroes on top of Roger and Fanny, you gotta make sure that you are somewhat in the lead once you get into that mid stage. So that's a good start, but I hope to see a little bit more from them, because as long as RSG are able to keep themselves even, they are actually the ones in control.
But speaking of control right now, I don't see any Sky Piercers at all. Iran actually opted to go for the Hunter Strike first item instead. And we do see the Heptaseas up on Washi Paul as well. So no Sky Piercers coming from both sides. Don't really want to take the risks. And I can respect that. Like, nobody wants a 1,500 item power spike.
Yeah, the no hold on here in the mid lane.
Nibor getting kicked away. Naxu, he's in a little bit of trouble here. Gets pulled back. Daytona's Welcome comes in. They're going for the slam here. Counter auto saves his life here, but can he get out? Seems like he will be able to do so. And the counter stun coming in here is up to Washi Paul to clean up the house, but they've all fumed out. Both sides just playing extremely well, but rsgph, they will have first dips up on Turtle for now. Light trying to catch on Marzi. They want to extend this fight. He is forced to flicker out of there as well. He's going to be able to get out. No, he does not. Iran finds him. Turtle still alive, but it is going to be rsgph that gets everything.
RSG set themselves up in a much better position to contest the turtle after winning the fight in the mid lane, and by basically cutting off all entrances, they forced Bigetron to have to go through grinders to try and get to the turtle, which did not end well for them. I do think they needed to kind of stop their efforts at a certain point there. It's lucky that they didn't end up losing more, because they actually committed quite heavily to that.
Oh boy, speaking of commitment, this is rough coming from BTR. Like, it felt like they have a little bit of hope, but oh no, Pin, he might be in a little bit of trouble here. He needs to get out. Flicker coming in. Daytona's welcome. They are going to slap him on the wall. Iran does have the skills to kill him off, and he is going to fall. And that is going to be BTR Beta losing their goal laner. And guess what? They lose another one. Washiball getting caught off. The stolen Nether Realm is not in time here as rsgph continues to pick apart the defenses on one by one as BTR loses not one, not two, but 3 players in a row.
RSG are just really good at identifying windows of opportunity. That's the reason why they're so effective as an aggressive team. With Nibor actually waiting for the Purify to finish on Pin before flickering in for the Daytona's welcome, and then instantly using the gap in defenses that created to go and contest the purple buff and not allow Washipol to get a hands on it. So already, we are seeing this game go even more one-sided than game number 1.
Oh boy, this is gonna be a little bit tough here. I don't know, man. Like, it feels like they have the tools, but they're just so afraid. And rsgph is just always one step ahead. And look at this, Washipol, no purple buff this time. They're making sure that he does not have a good time at all. And this is a plan that I think BTR Beta needed to have in game 1.
The thing is, Bigetron Beta understood that they needed to be the aggressors this game. You saw them try to play somewhat high pressure in the early stages, but that's why this Veramis pick is so good. Even though you usually don't pick it against a Valentina, it stops pickups.
Oh no, bottom lane there. They do find one as well. Naxu getting chain stun. Look at this, they're just recalling and taunting. They know he's done for. They know there's no way out. And even having Nibor as a secondary exit blocker, they just stop every exit that BTR Beta that may or may not be able to get out. But for now, Washipol, they are going to try and gang onto Iran. Can they get him as well? Okay, Shadow Kill onto his grave. He's going to buy Libra one time. Nether Realm preemptively to buy Libra one time, but Iran, does he get out? Yes, they do. Washipol actually needs to run. He doesn't have the cables, but instead, the rest of rsgph collapse on his bandmates, and that's going to be Zerusi and Marzi dropping down to his 1 HP, and they do get out. Oh boy, this is why you need Skypiercer, guys. That's why Skypiercer would have gotten those 2 kills.
That is actually an incredible advertisement for Skypiercer, because you are actually correct. That would have gotten 2 kills. I am insanely surprised that they survived that, but what about now?
Oh boy, now they are playing under tier 2s, but the burst once again. Kusei finish off Nasu there, and BTR Beta, they're losing even more. Double kill for Kusei once more on the target. They lose 4. This is an absolute one-sided stomp by rsgph this game.
RSG Philippines are steamrolling their opponents. They figured out that they underestimated Bigetron Beta in game 1 and are not committing to the same mistake anymore, making sure that they are cutting off all routes of exit. This is asphyxiation happening in the land of Dawn. Because Bigetron, I don't really see a way back into this. A 9k gold disadvantage in 9 minutes is massive.
Oh boy, this is a rough game for BTR. But as we at rsgph, they're playing a little bit more disciplined and more composed now. And this is good. This is what they need. Consistency is key. Conceal play comes in. Aqua trying to go for a little bit set here. BTR Beta, no choice. Has to concede purple buff. Meanwhile, their jungler is on the other side of the map to try and split push for themselves.
Split pushing is all Bigetron can really hope to do right now. It's still going to be quite heavily limited because Washipol is never going to see his purple buff for the rest of the game here unless RG makes a big mistake. And I already mentioned, I don't think they're going to do that. They are actually paying proper respect to their opponents this time and cutting off any glimmer of hope they may have.
Speaking of glimmer of hope here, seems like it is going to slowly scramble and close that chapter for BTR in this series, as Lord is going to be pushing from the top side. BTR Beta, Washipol only level 12, doesn't have the next power spike, and it is going to be a rough game here. Look at this, he's only got Heptasief's Malefic Roar, not even a 3rd item power spike yet, whereas I think Irad is slowly making towards his 4th item power spike.
Washipol is really poor right now. Irad, he played Fanny very well, and when a player plays a hero well, they know how to counter it well as well.
Well, it looks like we do see a clash as well. They're diving in under tier 3s. They're trying to catch it a little bit more. NetherRealm trying to get them a little bit defensively here. But the Lord, look at this, so full health. They're dropping everything out of this as well. They do get Nibor, they do get Light, and that is good. But Irad is able to find a little bit more. But guess what? Washi Paul spamming those cables. They are able to get 3, and that is huge for BTR Beta. But Kusei is still around. The MVP from game 1 still fights for their lives. They are going to be able to find one more. Trades even 3 for 3. But rsgph, they take 2 turrets and they are going to back off. Washipao, does he get a purple buff? No, he does not. Now 1v1, Kusei, he needs to get out. He doesn't have the Xammer Force. He needs to run. Naxu tries to set up for the team, but the Purify comes in and says what? Where's my damage leader? There's no follow-up. He's going to be stranded, and he's going to kill him off. And rsgph, Kusei outplays BTR.
I think RSG having 3 players die in that push was really not necessary, but they are enough in the lead that it's not going to bother them that much, especially with Kusei being able to outplay and keep himself alive as well. They already know that bigetron is so far behind that they can actually afford to try and push in. They actually were looking to see if it was possible to just muscle in and end the game with the Lord. Unfortunately, didn't quite work out. Now they're going to take things a little bit more clean and collected.
Oh boy, Kusei. Definitely the man you got to be watching out for here. 46k total damage leaderboard here, alongside with Irad, who's 35,000. Complete domination from 2 of these guys. As BTR Beta, they have no choice but to hunker down back base. Washi Paul, he managed to hold on for the team, but I don't know, can they hold on even more? Because that's what they need for a miracle to hold on for this series.
You have to note, if you're fighting a Fanny in base, doesn't matter if they have purple buff or not, they can just go back, heal the NG back up, and come out again. If not for Washi Paul, RSG actually would have ended the game with that previous push. So we gotta give props to this player here. They may be MDL, but they are very...
Oh no, Light caught him mid-animation. They burst him down. No Washi Paul for 30 seconds, and rsgph says we're closing the game. They get the Daytona's welcome. They find Marzi as well. 5v3. They don't have the damage. They have to drop bodies for this. Even Naxu will fall. Crystal's exposed. That's GG. Well played for rsgph.
And